So I have Pastor Ramin on the line in California. We heard some really troubling story about you going to the Mall of America, and we were wondering if you would like to share this with us.
Well, I believe, spiritually speaking, I believe, God brought me there, and all these things happened to make some awareness, because even before I came to Minnesota, I just came there to speak at the few churches, and for 3 days. I came on Friday, and I just got back to California.
Because people are having doubts whether several people contacted me and said, well, we can't believe this is true. I think it's best if we can hear it from your own voice.
Well, I have witnesses, we're 3 people together when this happened, and I have the police report, I have the security report.
I went to your website, and it sounds like you have quite a story to tell, meaning in terms of your life in Iran and where you've come from. Can you give us a little context?
Yes, definitely. Well, I was born and raised in Iran as a Muslim myself, and 13 years ago, I gave my heart to Jesus. The Lord reached out to me, and I was oppressed in Iran. I was arrested, beaten, and so I fled Iran, went to Turkey. As a refugee in Turkey, I was arrested multiple times for giving Bibles away to people. And then eventually I came to America as a refugee in 2008. And so I've been serving the Lord. I started church here in California. I went to a Bible school in Oklahoma. And then I moved to California to start a church among Persians. And I travel around the world and preach the gospel as the Lord opens doors for me. I just came back from Mexico, where our airplane crashed, and that's over the news in the recent airplane crash, and that was on all the news all around the world.
If I can just interrupt you, but I picked up on that story as well, and I checked on it, and he was in a plane crash in Mexico. The whole plane burned down, from what I understand. No one was killed. You filmed it with your phone, and it was on KARE 11 actually featured. I don't know how long ago that was, but that was quite a story as well.
All over Fox News and CNN and NBC, ABC, all the major media, they began to cover it. It was when the airplane crashed, I say, in Jesus' name, in Jesus' name. And the nombre de Jesus in Spanish. I don't speak Spanish, but it just came out of me, and God really saved us. It was a miracle. So that just happened on July 31st, just a couple of weeks ago. Because it was my first time in Minnesota, so it was me, this pastor who was my host, and his son. His son is like 14 years old. So me, this pastor, and his 14-year-old son. So we went to the mall, and just randomly ran with some Muslims, and we just began a conversation. Just as we were walking, we just began to talk with Somalis, and we didn't tell them anything at first. We just said, where are you guys from? And they said, from Somalia. And they asked me, what about you? I told them I'm from Iran. And so the conversation led to whether I'm Muslim or not. I said, no, I used to be a Muslim, but I'm a Christian now. And they said, oh, why? Why did you change? What happened? So I began to tell them. I was telling my story, and they were listening. And then another lady who was not a part of the conversation, she was another Muslim lady with hijab, Somali woman. She was a few steps away, and she heard our conversation. So she told the security that we are harassing them. I said, I'm not the kind of person who go and scream, "You're gonna go to hell," and repent. So then I told them that. So we were talking, and these two ladies were listening to me to my story, and this lady began to interrupt us and told the security. Security was just a few steps away. Actually, we were doing it in front of security, so security had no problem at that point. I mean, I don't know if he heard us or not, but he was not too far away. So this lady began to scream and say, "Hey, this guy's harassing us." And so security came and told me, "Hey, you cannot do this here. You're soliciting." And so they began to tell us they cannot do this. You're not allowed to do this. And I said, "Okay, but you're not soliciting. We just had a conversation." And they wanted to talk to me. They were asking me, actually. And then so we just walked away, went to a coffee shop. We got a coffee, and we came out of the coffee shop. And when we came out, we saw 3 security guards, waiting for us. And then they told us that you should leave right now. I said, "Why should I leave?" They said, "You should leave because you are soliciting here." I said, "We're not soliciting. We just came here to see the mall." I told them I'm out of town. I'm a guest here. I just came to see the mall. And they said, "No, you cannot be in the mall right now." I said, "Why? Give me a reason why I should leave." I said, "Because you're soliciting." I said, "We're not soliciting." Even my friend who was a pastor, he told me, "We're not soliciting. We just came to see the mall." And then so he said, "You're under arrest." And then they began to take my coffee from me in my hand, and they handcuffed me from behind, and then they took me to the security room. They tied me to this metal chair. They tied me to this metal chair on both my hands. And they pat me down first. They took everything from my pocket. They took my watch, and they had me sit on this. Metal chair. They tied my both hands handcuffed to this chair, and then this chair was bolted to the ground. So they handcuffed me, and then I said, "Why are you guys doing this?" So they said, "Because you are this is criminal trespassing." I said, "What do you mean criminal trespassing? Isn't the mall open to public?" They said, "Yes, but you cannot solicit here." I said, "I was not soliciting here." So then I asked them for water. They wanted to take my picture to file their report, and I said, "No, you're not allowed to take my picture. I didn't do anything. You wrongfully arrested me." Then I asked them for water. I started thirsty. They said, "Well, if you allow us to take your picture, then we give you some water." So imagine, this is like basic human right. They have to give me water, and they said no. It is, and then I asked them, I want to go to restroom, and they said no. They didn't allow me to go to restroom. When I asked them for water, they said, "If you allow us to take a picture, then we give you water." So he took the cup. He showed me the cup. He said, "I give you some water in exchange for the photo." I said, "No, I don't let you do that." So he put the cup down and went and sat in his chair. And I'm tied to this chair, sitting there for almost 2 hours. Now, eventually they gave me the water. So one of them, a new guy came in, and one of the security guys was newer. He wasn't in the beginning there. So he told me, I said, "Sir, I'm thirsty." So he gave me the water and then says, "Now, can I take a picture?" I said, "No." So and when he did it, he was trying to make me to let them take the picture. So I didn't allow them, and then I asked them, I want to go to the restroom. They didn't allow me. Eventually, they did, like toward the end, they let me to do that. But then they called the police. They filed a report. They tried to take my picture. So one of the guys, the supervisor, I believe he came, was talking to me. They were trying to distract me so he could take my picture. And as I was talking to this guy, he was trying to take a picture, put my hand in front of my face. So he took a picture with my hand on my face. I fled 2 Islamic countries, came to the United States as a refugee, as a religious refugee, to be here in freedom. And I wouldn't believe, in 1,000 years, I wouldn't believe in my mind that I will be arrested and handcuffed in a mall for my faith, for talking in a conversation. Imagine you're in a coffee shop, you're talking to someone over a subject that a third person who happen to be there doesn't agree with that, and then tell the police or the security that this guy is harassing us or whatever. And so when the police came, I thought the police has more understanding and they're gonna, tell me my Miranda right and tell me that you can't. I told him, can I call a lawyer? Can I call a cops? He said, no. They didn't give me a phone. They didn't give me water. The police even didn't ask me what happened. They didn't even when they took me to the police department, when they handcuffed me, they took the handcuff off the chair and he tied it somewhere behind both my hands, and he carried me to the police car, and he drove me to the police department. And they even didn't ask me, why are you here? What happened? They just went off with the report, whatever the report said. And then they did my fingerprinting, and so they just went all the way through the process. And I was telling one of the guys that, hey guys, they arrested. I was just visiting mall, and he says, oh, it happened. I don't believe you.